Hey, what's up, my friends? Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Victor, and today I'm going to talk about the void. The void is a place, a state of being, an experience that is quite common to anyone who has been along this awakening path long enough. And I'm going to wait for a quieter time to get more deeply into this. But essentially what I'm going to be talking about is when you feel for no discernible reason, very intensely melancholy. You feel cut off and severed off from your spiritual center. You feel very cast off into this joyless wasteland of discontentment. And your life might be changing and you don't know where it's going. You're losing your sense of self. Like you don't know what you think. You don't know who you are. You don't know where you're going. And on top of it all, you're in this freaking void, and it feels very uncomfortably just unhappy, this disharmonious state. And it's just sort of it's not intensely negative, but it's intensely depressing, and it's a lull. And again, I don't know if I mentioned, but someone asked me, Victor, how do I get out of this void? How do I find something to be excited about, to go towards? I just feel in this funk. So I'm gonna bring my wife on board. She's doing laundry right now. We're gonna talk about the void today and hopefully help you guys out if you're going through this state of being. It's quite common, though, I'll tell you that. So you're not doing anything wrong, and before you know it, this too shall pass. But in the meantime, we're gonna hook you up with some tips. Okay, folks, so I'm going to go over a few things about this void. So one of the important things I would say is to trust the timing of it. A lot of times these unfortunate and uncomfortable states of being that are sort of germane to the awakening process come on at what can really seem like an inopportune time in our life, where we have life doesn't stop because you're going through this process. And sometimes you wake up and don't even want to get out of bed. You don't know where your life's going, and it's just internally very chaotic. But so it can seem like, how are you going to manage yourself? How are you going to manage your life? How are you going to make it and not fall under and fall behind? But again, that never tends to happen. It really doesn't. I know it's just words I'm saying, but just do me a favor and try to trust the timing of it. Trust yourself. There is a higher force, a higher aspect of yourself, sort of like the puppet master and orchestrating all this. And it knows the right times to put you through certain experiences. It knows it's going to always be okay. And sometimes there's actually value in you going through this thinking it's not going to be okay. Sometimes it can light a fire under your ass and get you doing things that you would have never normally done. So again, just try to trust the timing of it. It's going to be fine. It's going to blow over at the right time for you. Number two, I would say, and I know this is not easy, but do your best to not have the mindset of trying to get out of it. How do I get out of the void, Victor? That's the wrong question to ask. It's, how do I surrender to the void? How do I allow myself to be in the void long enough so I can learn whatever, or maybe not sometimes always learn something, but sometimes it's a matter of allowing this reorientation process to complete itself. So it's more like, the better question to ask, the question that you can ask that will actually give you more of a benefit would be, how can I not suffer as much during this inevitable void? So one of the things you can do, I want to bring my wife in here. She kind of summed it up pretty simply. But she's watching the kids and she's not going to be able to make it, unfortunately. But she basically I was talking to her about this, and she was saying, the wise way to go about this is to do stuff that makes you feel in your zone as best you can, whether that be meditation or listening to music or going for a walk or exercise, anything like that will put you in a better mood. That's the way to ride this out, to try to stay as sane and as balanced as you can while in this, rather than fighting in the mind and looking for ways to escape and get out of it, because that's the temptation. You might find yourself really wanting to escape, indulging in certain addictive type behaviors, and it's okay. I don't judge you, because it's such an uncomfortable place, but that's going to prolong it. That's going to actually do you, it's not going to do you It's not going to help matters at all. Lastly, I would suggest to not normally make any huge decisions from this void, because it's almost like you start to become aware during this void of a lot of your own stuff, a lot of your own issues, your own motives, truths about yourself that were previously hidden. You become aware of little glimpses of many different aspects of yourself, kind of all at once, and it's not enough to have a clear picture. And you might get a little bit of a glimpse of something, a little ray of clarity, but usually it's not enough to really start to go on. If you try to start acting from that prematurely, you'll find that clarity wears off, and you're like sinking back into that void space. So it's best just to kind of wait it out. Wait for yourself to kind of come into more of a consistent state of alignment, and again, more of a consistent state of clarity. So I'm going to end this void talk with a song I just heard right before coming here that I thought it had beautiful advice for a lot of tough times, a lot of tough aspects of life. It's from Leonard Skinner, Simple Man. It said, "Don't you worry, you'll find yourself. Just follow your heart and nothing else."